Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Arlene Diamco, the MultiDimensional MD. Thank you so much for joining me for this really special episode today. As always, I love to bring the intuitive aspects of health back to medicine in practical and tangible ways so that you can experience more peace, love, and joy in your everyday lives. And so I have with me today two special guests, Emily and Stephanie, and they just finished their first 5-day course in cranial osteopathy. And I know so many people ask, like, how do you learn this stuff? And so we have two students here, and they're going to share with you their experience with first hands-on experience with cranial osteopathy. So I'll let you guys kind of introduce yourselves further, and I'll just start talking.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so hi, I'm Emily. I'm a fourth-year medical student from the Chicago College of Osteopathic Medicine here with our really, truly first hands-on experience with cranial. I'd never really been used to it before, and our school doesn't really teach it. And so it's been really exciting to learn with great mentors like Arlene here.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie, also a fourth-year med student from Chicago College of Osteopathic Medicine, and similarly, this is my first time seeing cranial and really understanding the self-healing properties of the body.
So I just want to, we'll kind of start from the beginning. Like, how did it unfold for you? Like, what is it like to not know how to feel these things, and then to start to be able to see it unfold, and whatever aha moments you had that would be fun to share with everyone.
Sure. Yeah. So we both come from an education system that's very mechanical based and really doesn't take into account the soul and kind of bringing in everything together to treat a patient. And so we came into the course thinking, oh, this is going to be very mechanical based, not expecting to be able to, feel someone's light the way that we do now. And so the first time that I kind of laid my hands on somebody, I was thinking that very mechanical way. And it wasn't until I was guided to, think outside of myself that we were able to kind of finally feel, somebody's joy, somebody's light for the first time. And it was really incredible. It was actually very overwhelming to finally feel that in someone and be able to heal someone to that level. And so it was very, very exciting. But I think the aha moment was really just understanding that, wow, I've been feeling this inside of myself for a long time, and it just went unnamed. And it's like Stephanie likes to say, it's like a stranger whose face you see all the time, but you don't know their name. And then once you do, you then see them more and more and more. And that's kind of how we felt about the treatment.
What is it like when you say you felt someone's light? Like, what does that feel like?
That is a hard question. For me personally, it kind of feels like this wash of warmth and joy. And so when I'm, working on somebody and I feel like I've finally tapped into their light and I'm really helping their body kind of heal, it really feels just like I'm basking in the sun.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, so, because it sounds like it's actually helpful for both you and the patient,
yes,
whoever you're treating, and that's phenomenal.
Yes, it really does kind of feel like in treating someone, I'm also partially treating myself.
Yeah. And then in getting in a space of where you're treating yourself or healing yourself,
yes,
it helps you to see someone's light
as
well.
Totally. Yeah. You want to go, Steph?
What did you get out of it in terms of how did things unfold? What was your aha moment, if you had any, or various aha moments? Because everyone wants to know, how do you learn this? Mm-hmm. And it's very subtle. Mm-hmm. And what is it like? What does it feel like to learn something like this? And how do you even get there?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So I think that, like Emily said, I have kind of been trained mechanically. However, I think that my body knew that I wanted to tune in to the patient's body as well, because I tended to like the more indirect treatments, meaning that I liked to feel where the body preferred to be, but it was under a positional kind of mindset, so still mechanical. But once I did the cranial course, I realized that I had been tuning into the body's natural healing, and it was trying to tell me more. And I think that was that aha moment, oh, I have been talking to you. That's why I like these technique modalities that allow me to listen to the body more, rather than put a person in a position and just shove it back into place. And so it was cool to be able to be free to do what was natural for me, which was to just listen and let the body do what it wants to do.
And what you're saying, like there was already this natural inclination.
Yeah.
And part of it for me is just being a kind, loving, compassionate person. And when you're in that space, like you're helping your patient no matter what. But I feel like one of the keys is also starting from a place where you're a kind, loving, compassionate person for yourself. And then that actually helps you to be able to expand your perception so that you can see not only your light, but you can see someone else's light.
Yeah, this is true. So Dr. Diamco did help me learn that first component of like caring for myself. So I think that was kind of a hindrance in the first few days of the course, was trying to figure out who am I, because I was only able to really perceive whatever my hand was touching. But then through a process of learning more self-awareness, who I was, when I needed to feel, and kind of go through just a natural cycle of feeling and healing and allowing it to happen, that was when I was finally able to go further in the body and not just what my hand was touching.
The feeling and healing natural cycle is that kind of sums it up.
Yes.
And then, so like as the days progress, I mean, there were so many there can be like ups and downs. And as you learn to feel things, like what helped you continue to just expand on that?
Yeah. So I was lucky and I had Dr. Diamco on the first day. And so I was able to kind of expand my mind like from that very first day and be able to like feel kind of someone's entire body and be able to heal like pretty much right away. However, I often got tied down in searching for what was wrong and not focusing on like someone's light and health. And so I feel like my journey for the last couple of days has been more focusing on, okay, like what is this person's body telling me and how can I help them heal, as opposed to me being like, oh, there's something wrong here, there's something wrong there, I'll take a step back to let the body do its thing, but as opposed to just being like, let's focus on what's good here and then let it take over the rest of the body. And so I've been working on that, and I feel like it's been really helpful for me.
That is a great theme because something that I emphasize in the teachings is like assisting, not fixing. And then what you said, like focusing on what the health is here. And once you're able to tune into someone's light, their essence, that health is always there. It's just a matter of being able to reconnect with it. And so your presence of just being able to like see it and see it with the person can help them. At the same time, we're learning all of this anatomy and physiology. And so I guess from a student's perspective, like how does that all kind of weave in and integrate?
Sure. So I feel like the anatomy and physiology, it just makes sense then. Like it put me in awe, honestly, of like what the body is capable of, its design, and just like the inherent healing ability that it has. It just made sense why what we do works. And it was enough for me to be like, yeah, I don't really want to know why further, because there's just this beautiful design of the body and we're able to tap into that. And I think that knowing the anatomy and physiology, or at least the anatomy part, I think for me really helped kind of just give a clearer picture of like, where am I in the body? Kind of give me a framework of what to consider, like what am I feeling? It gave a language, but at the same time, it doesn't get me tunneled into that because I'm still just feeling the body as a whole. But I guess I have a clearer picture of what it is I'm feeling.
And so how do you think, like for both of you, this is going to change your practice in the future?
So I definitely can't do osteopathic manipulative treatments the same anymore, because now I realize that it's all about like getting in touch with the patient's body and asking it what it wants. And so instead of just seeing a structure that might look out of place, and wanting to just shove it back into what I think is symmetry. Now I'm going to be in communication with the patient's body and seeing, is this really what you want and how would you like it to happen? Let me just be there and support you, but you're the body and you know what's best, so I'll let you do your stuff.
Yeah, for me this was like truly a life-changing week. I went in knowing that I wanted to go into psychiatry, and I've always wanted to do kind of trauma and shock release work, but I really hadn't met anyone who had a similar interest or way of going about it. And so I really didn't know how I was going to incorporate the OMT that I know how to do into that patient population. Because since what we learn is very mechanical, very harsh, like it's not necessarily the best option for them, And so it wasn't until being in this course and meeting people like Dr. Diamco who do the type of work that I want to do in the future, it makes it so much easier to be able to realize how I'm going to fold this in, and knowing that, you can do this on every single person. Like all that you need is touch, and you can, have this massive effect. And I feel like that's something that I'm going to bring with me into my future residency and career plans to try to follow in Dr. Diamco's footsteps, honestly.
And this is a healing power of not only touch, but presence.
Yes.
And because these are concepts we are learning, and we all learn to feel like really subtle things, but I feel like even though there are other things that you have learned that are more mechanical, you could bring this concept from the cranial osteopathy of expanding into like really the mind, body, spirit of those mechanical strains or tension in the body, and so you can add that dimension even to like other kinds of techniques.
Right. It's really just like an expansion of the philosophy and integration into what we already know. Like it's like I could be doing a similar, previously like only mechanical technique, but now the fact that we can kind of speak with the body and then still potentially be able to do that technique, one, it's going to be more effective, it's going to last longer, and we're doing what the body wants to do as opposed to what we think is right and pushing that ideal onto somebody else. And so it's not to say we're never going to do these like mechanical techniques. It's more of that we have a whole different viewpoint now on how to go about implementing those types of techniques onto patients, because it's the patient's choice. And right now it's previously had been our choice.
This is so amazing. It's so life-changing in so many ways, professionally and personally. How do you feel like this is going to change, I guess, your life personally as well?
I think that this course taught me the importance of knowing oneself before trying to care for other people, because initially I had been trying to serve other people and like heal them from my own energy, and that's limited. And so now I learned to cooperate with the patient's body, which is infinite in energy, and just support it kind of from the outside. And so now I feel like I have a better idea of self-care, and in being able to care for myself well, I'll be able to care better for my patients.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've kind of spoken on how this has changed completely changed my life, and in my, personal life too. I feel like I've experienced true joy, and I felt like before I was just faking it almost. Like I thought I was happy, but now after experiencing the types of things we experience in this course and actually like feeling and basking in somebody's light, I feel like I've actually experienced true unadulterated joy, and that's something that I'm going to carry with me forever.
Wow. I mean, I know it's going to be like this life-changing experience for people, but you never really know how it's going to unfold.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's like so in line with my mission for medicine and being able to expand what we can do for people, and exactly that, being able to help other people feel joy, but yourself feel joy. And real joy, where it's like embodied joy. So it's not just an outer expression. It's like it's really fully coming from the inside out. So
Yeah, I want to recall. So, like, not just a joy, or this is a different kind of joy than I think sometimes the joy that I've tried to have, which is like a joy to try to lift the mood of the other people and not necessarily just like inner joy. Yeah. So what you said really resonated. Yeah.
I know, and that's something that so commonly happens. It's like we're trying to smooth out things, or it's the sunny side of control. What Anne Lamott says is helping is the sunny side of control, like over helping.
Yeah.
So, well, I hope that this inspires anyone that's listening to this to just learn more about osteopathy, cranial osteopathy in particular. And it gives you a sneak peek behind the scenes of how this is taught and how we learn this. And also, if you are thinking about going to medical school, then consider taking a course in a cranial osteopathy. If you're a medical student or you're a physician, you can do this. And all of these experiences that the students have, these are like not uncommon. This is kind of more the norm of what people go through in this course in different ways. Everyone has their unique experience, but it's what keeps bringing me back like every year, like spending the time and coming out wherever the conference is to help teach the introductory course. So thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you all next time on another episode of the MultiDimensional MD. If you like this episode, please like or subscribe. If you have any questions for me or Emily or Stephanie, then please feel free to leave a comment below and we will get back to you. You can also connect with me on my website, allworldshealth.com. I send out an e-love letter every week on Wednesday, or Instagram at allworldshealth, or Facebook, All Worlds Health and Pediatrics. Have a beautiful rest of your week. I believe in you, so I hope that you believe in you too, and I'll see you next time.